Okay, so the first trailer for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow just dropped, and wow, it is already shaking up the entire DC universe. Get ready, because this is a Supergirl unlike any you have ever seen before. Welcome to Breaking Pulse, everyone, and you know we've got to break this down. And hey, before we get into it, if you're as hyped as I am, do me a favor, like, share, and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one of our deep dives. So in this breakdown, we are unpacking the two biggest shockers from this thing. First up, this completely new, way darker take on Supergirl. And second, a wild new role for Jason Momoa that fans have been basically screaming for years. A different kind of hero. Yeah, this is not the Supergirl you know. The trailer really puts this huge question right out there. Is this new Supergirl even a hero? And let me tell you, the answer? It's complicated. So, okay, let's dive into exactly why. So, right from the get-go, it is crystal clear that Milly Alcock's Kara Zor-El is, well, she's nothing like the super hopeful heroes we're used to. And her entire worldview? It's a complete 180 from her famous cousin Superman. And it all, and I mean all of it, comes down to their pasts. You've got classic Supes, raised by loving parents on a farm, who sees the good in everyone. And then you have this new Supergirl, raised on a dying rock in space. She doesn't see the good. She sees the truth. And listen to this. This is from the director himself, Craig Gillespie. He says, this is really an anti-hero story. She's got a lot of baggage and a lot of demons. I mean, he's not pulling any punches there. This isn't just me speculating. The director is flat out telling us we're getting a Supergirl who's not just fighting bad guys, but also fighting her own inner demons and a whole lot of trauma. And James Gunn, the co-CEO of DC Studios, he backs this up completely. He says, so many times female superheroes are so perfect. She's not that at all. She's very imperfect, like male superheroes have been allowed to be for a while. You know, this quote is huge. It's basically a mission statement. They are deliberately creating a flawed, complex Supergirl. They're moving past that old, kind of boring trope of the perfect female hero. And honestly, it's about time. So, Supergirl's dark origin. The tragic story behind the hero. The big question is, why? Why is she so different? Well, the answer lies in her absolutely horrifying backstory, which, by the way, is ripped straight from the incredible Woman of Tomorrow comic series. So let me ask you this. What happens when a hero watches their entire world die, but not in a quick explosion? What if they watch it die slowly? Okay, so look at this. This is the tragedy of Argo City. First, Krypton explodes. We all know that part. But a single city, her home, survives in a bubble. Sounds good, right? Nope. The soil becomes poisoned. The survivors start slowly dying from radiation. And Kara, she watches this happen for 14 years. And only then, after all that horror, is she finally sent to Earth, all alone. This is what defines her. Superman escaped as a baby. For him, it's a story. For Kara, it was a slow, agonizing nightmare she lived through every single day. Whew. That's heavy stuff, right? Okay, let's shift gears now, because that wasn't the only bombshell in this trailer. Let's talk about the other big reveal. Jason Momoa is Lobo. Yep, after years, and I mean years, of fan campaigns of Jason Momoa himself pushing for this role, DC finally made the call. He posted this on his Instagram, confirming the news with just two perfect words. They called. So for anyone who doesn't know who we're talking about, here's the deal. Lobo, a ruthless, immortal, intergalactic bounty hunter. And in his native language, his name means, get this, he who devours your entrails and thoroughly enjoys it. Yeah, this guy is something else. So who is the main man? Let's break down DC's most chaotic anti-hero because he is one of the most powerful and wildly unpredictable forces in the entire DC universe. Okay, let's just run through his powers and quirks, because this is nuts. He's got superhuman strength, like he can go toe-to-toe with Superman. He has extreme regeneration. He can literally regrow his whole body from a single drop of blood. He's immortal because he's so awful that heaven and hell both banned him. They just don't want him. Oh, and he's got a genius-level intellect, which he used to wipe out his entire species for fun. And just to top it all off, he loves space dolphins. Don't ask. But here's what makes him so dangerous. For all that chaos, Lobo lives by a very strict personal code. First, the contract. If he takes a job, he finishes it, no matter what. No exceptions. Second, loyalty. He works for whoever pays the most, Doesn't matter if they're a hero or a villain. And third, morality? He doesn't have any. It's completely gone. Killing is just part of the job. So let's zoom out. The big picture. Why this movie is a game changer for the DCU. Because this isn't just another superhero movie. This film, with these two characters, it signals a massive shift for the entire DC universe on screen. First off, we're seeing a brand new creative direction. They are clearly prioritizing unique, creator-driven stories over some single, rigid formula. Giving a director the freedom to make a gritty anti-hero movie shows that the new DCU is all about different tones and different styles. And this ties right back to Supergirl. Heroes are now allowed to be flawed. We're moving away from these perfect, untouchable idols, and we're getting more complex, relatable, and honestly, imperfect characters. People who feel a lot more like us. And finally, let's talk about the bold new role for Moa. Moving a major star from one iconic role like Aquaman to another fan-favorite character, Lobo, within the same franchise, that is a gutsy move. It shows they aren't afraid to take big, creative risks. So that brings us to the big question. With these two incredible, complex characters on a collision course, who are you more hyped to see on the big screen, the imperfect, traumatized Supergirl or the absolutely chaotic Lobo? Seriously, I want to know what you think. Drop your pick in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Breaking Pulse for way more deep dives into the future of the DCU. Thanks so much for watching.